Hello, happy Lightfall, and welcome to the old Favour Pass. If the tales were to be believed, as the warm season comes to an end in Eldia, the night sky lights up with these cool, toned colors, and the sky itself rains down a new season upon folk. It's believed that Cosmos turns a new page in the Book of Time itself, and the new cycle begins. Old quarrels are to be dealt with, the debts paid, and most importantly, favors given. It's been a long time tradition to choose one very special person to give a favor to during this season. It is a show of deep love and companionship. It's not all selfless because a good deed is seen as an exchange for a good fortune from the old gods. But it's a good deed nonetheless, you know, lending a hand, sharing some forbidden knowledge, maybe a spell you've invented or discovered, a scroll you have found in your journeys. A baked good for someone who really likes baked goods. Something that is meaningful, something that is pure, and something that another person will see as a favor. This tradition has extended into more widespread gift giving. Because of the strong meaningfulness of the gesture, it can be quite a responsibility. So to make it a bit more fun and festive and jolly, shopping wars has sprouted all over Eldia. And Orilium, always being the head of the curve, of course has the most amazing, very ancient, very spectacular shopping ward as well, and it is called the Old Favour Pass. And I believe you and I are due for a visit. So hello! Welcome to our mini winter festive readathon for Orilium. It is a very relaxed, very low commitment readathon taking place over the course of a week and the adjacent weekends, starting in the evening of the 9th of December and finishing at the end of the 18th. And it really just is a little shopping adventure, taking a break from our studies, putting those quills down, maybe buying a new one whilst we're at it, because why not? It's really up to you and your character. Also, I guess, hi, hello, if you're new here, I will leave the whole playlist of this readathon if you want to join us. If you've not done anything for Orilium and this is your first time seeing it, that's also fine. Join us. Create a character in your mind, everything is linked down below, watch the first video. Booklet thing with what are the choices for people, and there's a guide for a career for next year, but for now you can just start by shopping. You can join, everyone can join basically. Similarly to our last session, I do hope to provide you with a little ambience room. It has been a journey creating that one, and I don't even have a sneak peek for you because it is not finished. So this may or may not happen. I really hope it does, but if it does, you will see it when we go to the Old Favour Pass. So it's fitting. Stay tuned. With this readathon, we'll have two printables, always comes with a printable. I have the map of Old Favour Pass, which I think is so cute. Me and Logan sat and came up with things together, and also big props for him actually drawing things for me to use. So if you would like to see more of his drawings, I will link his Instagram down below. And then as well as we have the prompts page with kind of shop logos. The first step, to begin with, you have two choices. You either pick the shop you want to go, or multiple shops. You just pick where you want to start and do everything by, you know, how you want to do it. Or if you don't want to decide and you would like a random chance, you can use this little portal here, roll a 6-sided die and see which one it falls on. But yeah, that is the first thing to note, is that you can pick or you can let the fate pick. Old Favour Pass is filled to the brim with magical shops, but we will highlight a couple just to focus on, just to explore. These maybe are the shops of the season. So let me introduce you to them, and then we can talk about how we actually do this. I mean, it's us, so we of course have a bookshop. It is called the Old Tales Bookstore. Tales as in the butt tales. But see what we did there? What started as a fascination with mythical creature tales and research of them turned into one of the most beautifully, fabulously gothic bookshops in Orilium. It's dusty, it's dark, it's confusing, and it's full of uncommon books. The walls are adorned with unfamiliar animal skulls, old paintings, and research pages. Julian, the scholar archivist, is slightly happy to assist on most days and can show you around. On days he is too enamored in his own literary adventure, you can enjoy a lovely break in the reading lounge near a grand stained glass window enchanted to always be rained on, with lush velvet mahogany armchairs, mage light, and a brewing hot drink. Read for as long as your heart desires. But do buy a book on your way out, because they do notice. Do have an inkling this might be a popular choice. The next shop, and bear with me, this will probably take 15 takes because I cannot pronounce it quickly, definitely has wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man energy about the whole vibe, so let's go. I'm sure you have heard of Wallice's wonderful winter animals, pet shop and petting zoo, with animals from all over the continents and even some from elsewhere. Wallice's wonderful winter animals can amuse you and your offspring for at least 2 hours, and that's a guarantee. We have the frostiest beasts and the chilliest fish. Just step into the land of Wallice's wonderful winter animals and get exploring. When your feet get tired, hop onto our new Snow Donkey ride, a mostly dark and underground carriage ride alongside a snow leopard donkey. With a crackingly, chillingly delicious winter-inspired snacks on every turn, Wallice's wonderful winter animals is the best place to be. Come, Wallice's wonderful winter animals, let's get going. Wallice's wonderful winter animals, come on, stop by at Wallice's wonderful winter animals. We have animals and pets galore. A very busy chain of pet store and petting zoo. Definitely brimming with life. If you do get overwhelmed, you can head back to the bookstore for a little bit calmer times. But you've just seen a wonderful mascot of the Wanimals, which is a mythological winter animal. Think Yeti, but more fucked up. Next totally legit shop. Head on over to Shank and Shawl's legitimate retailer. We're situated above the canal behind Wallice's and away from the unfairly overpriced Smiths and whatevers. Rat traps, got those. Traps that release rats, them too. Want something more exotic? We've got devices dug out of ruins that even we don't know what they do like. Get your responsibly sourced curiosities at more than reasonable price. Receipt stamps broken, cash only. Again, a totally legitimate retailer, nothing to see here. Actually, plenty to see there. Plenty. Next, the aforementioned Smith & Friends & Sons Arcane Goods and Such, a general store for general goods. We have ingredients, base equipment, gift bags and kits absolutely adequate for the festive season, like Lightfall. We pride ourselves on our reliable opening hours, easily maneuverable shop layout, and always up-to-date stock magazine. You will not find a more trustworthy general goods retailer with such a good variety of general goods. You might not want to visit us, but you probably will need to. A very cheery one. Very excitable. All you know nonsense characters. Take note. Then we have Occult Premonitions, which is perfect for anyone who has any type of seer abilities or delve into divination. They sell herbs, tarot cards, metals, gemstones, star maps, tea, crystal balls, and more. Just pass the mist of uncertainty that is covering the shop and all the answers will be right there if you seek them. Don't despair if you do not have any seer abilities, because you can also get a reading from Melis, the resident occultant. So you can get your fortune told and your future unveiled. There is a little note, however, it says, for legal reasons, the fortune told is not definitive and no action taken by the subject thereafter is Occult Premonitions' responsibility and lies solely with the subject. And then lastly, we have the Rich Pigeon Pub. Just looking to put your feet up and relax, the Rich Pigeon is the place for you. They have ales to please every palate, pigeon tea for the tired folk, pies, not pigeon, and tarts and pastries as well as soups for the hungry. The roaring fireplaces make the whole space fingertip tingly warm, and it's always buzzing with the most peculiar company, so you will never be bored. There's always a joke to be heard, tale to be listened to, and a song to be sung. Pets allowed and encouraged, and there's a specific corner for them to all hang out together, rest up, warm up, and have some snacks. Again, not pigeon. Okay, so how does this work? So as I said, once you get into the old Favour Pass, you get to choose where to go. So you can decide which shop your character would realistically want to visit, or which shop you just want to pick for the sake of the prompts. And you can do as few or as many prompts that you want. We have, what, like 9 days? So it's totally up to you, and you don't have to make a preset TBR as well, you can just figure it out as you go. Each shop is a genre, which also then gives you 2 choices. You can either hop between the shops and read for that genre. Or if you only prefer one or a couple of genres, you can stay within those shops and do the extra activities there. So for example, the Old Tales bookstore is assigned a read a mystery or a thriller book. Once you do that, that's the shop finished, unless you prefer to stay here because some other books you have are mystery thrillers that you want to read. And then you can do the extra activities mentioned here. For example, ask the archivist for a recommendation, book recommended to you. This book would need to be mystery or thriller, so the idea is that each shop only represents a genre and then you read within that genre. Or read in the lounge, read a book whilst cozied up with the blankets. So it's a very, very broad prompt again, and you would read a mystery or a thriller just cozied up. Maybe in bed, maybe on the sofa. Whatever. I did try to keep the prompts quite wide because again, it's a very short, very supposedly low-key readathon, so there's nothing to stress about, and hopefully whatever you had planned to read in December either way will just easily fit this if you want to hang around and do this together. So for the Shank and Shawl legitimate retailer, the genre is horror. I wonder why. So that's the first prompt, read a horror book, any horror book. If you want to stay and do more from this category, the second one is adopt a bone cat, which is like a necromancy kitten. Prompt is predominantly black cover. Third prompt is buy a robe of deception, and that is read a short story. Next we have Wallice's Wonderful Winter Animals, which is assigned a fantasy book. If you want to read more fantasy books, then you can do the next two, which are Go on a Zoo Adventure, Animal on the Cover, or Eat Wanimal Winter Waffles, which is a fantasy book with a winter setting. Smith and Friends and Son, Arcane Goods and such. The prompt is read a contemporary book. If you want to stay there, you can also buy a miniature portal kit and read a book set during a holiday. A lot of romance holiday ones come out around this time, so that could be a good one for contemporary. And the third one is buy Enchanted, Sell Writing Quill, and Quick Dry Ink. Book published this year. So contemporary book published this year. Occult Premonitions is a science fiction book. For the extra activities, you can get a divination reading, which is a speculative fiction read, or buy a star map, stars on the cover, which again, for sci-fi, hopefully is not too difficult. And then our last, but definitely not least stop, is the Rich Pigeon Pub, which is just all vibes. You don't even have to read anything. If you want to participate in the readathon and just do sprints with us, clean, maybe you want to just like lounge about, watch something instead of reading, just relax, you can just say that you're at the Rich Pigeon Pub. You're just vibing. You don't have to do anything. You can participate and do some other stuff, even if you don't manage to read anything. If you are rolling the die, I would just say go by this order. So the Old Tales bookstore is number 1, Shanks and Shawl is 2, Wallice Wonderful Winter Animals is 3, Smiths and Friends is 4, Occult Premonitions is 5, and 6 is just vibe. If you don't want to just vibe, I would just re-roll if you rolled 6. I think that's everything for that. Again, as I said, ASMR room is brewing and hopefully will be there. We are not gonna be tracking anything because we are just chilling. This one is chill. We are not tracking anything. We're gonna track in the main April, August readathons because we just try to compare and beat our own record, and it's fun, it's competitive, and it's helpful. But for this one, it's just a small one. No one really needs to. It's fine. So no tracking, no logging. Primarily, this is just going to be like fun little hangout on Discord, which I will leave down below. Twitter, which is dying. I'm not sad about it, but if you are only on Twitter and you haven't joined Discord, maybe that might be a good shout. I don't actually believe it'll die. Primarily will just be some sprints throughout the week or on the weekends. I don't know. I will let you know when I know myself. And I'll have a very chill Instagram photo challenge if you want to do that. I'm not really going to host a lot of anything, but if you do want some inspiration and just do it, it'll be here. I think that's everything. I hope you will have fun. I hope this set the mood somewhat. I think it's only suitable for us after a whole year to just not like end the year strongly. I want to end the year softly. So we're just calm and relaxing and doing fun things and having a bit of a laugh. And yeah, if you have any questions, there is a question channel on Discord. I will be hanging around there, especially after this, because I probably will forget something and something will be unclear. Hope you enjoyed. I hope this sounds good. I will see you very soon, and take care. Bye.